Hello, my name is Paul Wilson and I'm the Headmaster of Brighton College, Singapore. We've loved moving here. I've come here with my family and 2 children, and as you hear a lot of people say, it's an incredibly child-friendly country. So we've loved zipping across to all the various theme parks. We spend a lot of time in the water, so we've joined a club near to where we live, often at swimming most weekends and evenings. And it's been a great place to move to as a family. I've been very impressed by the country as a whole. It's an incredibly efficient place. My deputy arrived at the beginning of this year and went to pick her up from the airport, and she had come through, was waiting for me within 20 minutes of landing. So just a good example of just how efficient this country is. Yeah. We've been also really impressed by the government, most recently how they've dealt with the virus, but it's also more long-term as you see the way they plan 50 years ahead and how effective they are at implementing those plans. So that's been a really interesting thing to see about here in Singapore. I've also been struck by how friendly people are. So again, quite famously, the expats are very friendly when you arrive in Singapore, and that's definitely been the case. Coming into the British Chamber of Commerce has been a good example. But it's also been struck by how friendly the locals have been. So where we live in Serangoon, when I'm walking in the morning to catch my bus, a lot of the locals will greet me as I go by, and I think that's just a lovely reflection on the culture here. So although people are very busy, they're incredibly hardworking, it's lovely to see them having time to welcome people into their communities, to spend time eating together, which seems to be very popular, a very favourite pastime. And a lovely moment for us as a family was over Chinese New Year. So in our neighbouring street, they had a big street party. They welcomed all the houses in the local area. We all piled in together, had eating, enjoying the event. So it was lovely. Yeah, so I was had a great time with PricewaterhouseCoopers. I was there with them for 3 years and chartered with them. It was a career I was thinking of using out in China at that time. But during my training, I met my wife, who was training to be a doctor, which sort of put that plan on hold. So without sort of an ambition to be an accountant in the UK, I was looking for another career I'd enjoy doing. I loved my A-levels, so I loved my learning maths, English, history, had a great experience at school. I was very lucky that my wife was earning then. That definitely helped if you're making a career change midway through. But actually, often, you're at work for a long time. You're looking at potentially 40 plus years at work. So taking a year out to retrain is actually quite a small amount of time. And often there are bursaries available to you. For example, with teaching, the UK government's very generous in helping teachers retrain. So there are options, and it's not as hard as you might think. And if you are able to find a career like I've been very lucky to, that you absolutely love, then you get that benefit for a long time to come. So it's well worth the investment. So I think the success of Brighton College UK is founded on 2 main things. The first one is its culture of kindness, and the headmaster, Richard Cairns, is brilliant at helping forge that culture and sustain that culture. And when I was a housemaster back at Brighton, often that was the thing parents would talk about when they were visiting the school. They would comment on just how friendly a place it is and how kind it is. And I think when children feel loved and respected and safe, that gives them the opportunity to really flourish and really develop. And the other thing that's really noticeable about Brighton College UK is the quality of its staff. And again, Richard Cairns, headmaster, makes that a real key focus. He's involved in every appointment, and he sees that as the key determinant if you're going to create a successful school. So we're very keen to replicate that recipe for success. We've been very fortunate with our situation here in Singapore. It's a very attractive, appealing location. Having the Brighton College brand has attracted a lot of staff to want want to come and work here. So we've been able to recruit a fantastic team of people. And the other side, the culture of kindness, I'm very fortunate to have been at Brighton College for 8 years. So that's something very much in my heart as well to want to introduce here. Yes, sure. So we're owned by COGNITA, this big worldwide schools group. So they own AIS and Stanford American International School as well. So there are sister schools here. So it is an unusual situation having a campus with 3 schools on it. But I think it's going to work brilliantly. Part of the reason for that is that they are our sister schools. They've been just brilliant at welcoming us into this place. They've been incredibly accommodating. They want us to do well. So that's a big part of this, the success and the fact that it will work. The way it works is that we share the resources of Stanford American School across the ELV, and then here with our prep school, we share the facilities here on the main campus. So we're very fortunate, although we're a small school, we get to enjoy some incredible facilities. And as well as the access to those facilities, we're also very excited about just the sharing of training amongst the staff. So already we've been going on courses that AIS have been holding. They've welcomed us in, and we're really looking forward to being able to reciprocate that and invite them across when we're doing our training. And the other thing that I think will create a lovely atmosphere here is that it's wonderful to have schools that you can compete against on your doorstep. So you don't even have to travel. You can just ring up AIS and Stanford and say, fancy a game of footy, fancy having a swim meet. And that whole friendly competition, I think, will create a lovely dynamic here. We are quite ambitious. We're hoping to be the leading prep school in Southeast Asia. And the reason why we have that ambition, and one we think we can realize, is what I've talked about previously, that combination of a really amazing, dynamic academic staff team, and being able to combine that with a culture of kindness where children feel very loved, they feel known in this small environment, and can really flourish and reach their potential.